About 11 o'clock this morning, we got a car that went through the ice over off of Wayzata Beach and Wayzata Bay. When we got on scene, we talked to the driver, who was okay. It was only about 3 feet of water. He said that he wanted to cut time off from his commute this morning, so he drove from Excelsior Bay all the way out to Wayzata Bay to save some time.
3 feet of water. Where was he then in reference to the shore? I guess?
He was about 10 to 15 feet from the shore.
So he'd almost made it.
He almost made it, yep, but not quite.
So what is the message that you're trying to get out now?
You know, the ice is deteriorating very quickly right now. With the warm weather that we've had here this winter, the ice didn't have time to form. Now we're having a warm spring here. Last week we had the rain. This weekend it's supposed to be 55 degrees. On Sunday it's supposed to rain. This ice is going to deteriorate very quickly. The ice is not safe right now. When we measured it here yesterday, we had between 12 inches to 18 inches of ice. By the end of the weekend, I imagine we're going to lose several inches of ice pretty easy.
Is there a certain measurement that you say, oh, that's the safe amount to have people drive on?
We're never going to say that the ice is safe. You can have 15, 20 inches of ice in one area, and 100 feet away it can be 2 inches. So we'll never tell you that the ice is safe. There are recommendations that the DNR has, generally considered 10 to 12 inches of strong clear ice for a small vehicle.
You mentioned that it took a little bit longer even this year for people to be able to drive on it because it's been so mild. Is this one of the mildest that you can remember, the challenges with the ice?
In my 15 years, yeah, this has definitely been the mildest year that we've had. In terms of the ice not being very thick, how long it's taken to form, and now here we are in February, and we're getting the 50s coming up here soon. It's been a very mild winter and very dangerous time for the ice.
Just to clarify, you mentioned the driver was cutting time off the commute?
Yep, he did not want to drive around all the roads around the lake, so he just jumped on at Excelsior Bay and drove all the way to Wayzata Bay by the ice.
Do you ever recommend that, even in the heart of winter?
We really don't. Again, we always say that the ice is unsafe, and you can drive over an area that's safe one day, and 2 days, 3 days later, it can be unsafe because of ice heaves, carpools, and things like that.
What do you say to people, that I guess in his situation he was okay, but I'm guessing that could have turned out very differently if it had happened in the middle of the lake or something?
Absolutely. If you guys recall, several years ago out here, 3 people did lose their lives driving on the ice. It can easily happen again. The best thing that you can do is just to stay off it, especially this time of the year. Just stay away from the ice.
Do you know about how many people go through Lake Minnetonka and how many are deadly in a year potentially?
It varies from year to year. This year, this is our first car through the ice. We have had 2 snowmobiles through the ice, shallow water, fortunately. So we've been very fortunate that people have heeded our warnings about the dangers of ice this year. And we want people to heed the warnings now so we don't have a tragedy happen this spring.
How was this guy rescued? What did you guys do to get out there?
He was in 3 feet of water. His car was sticking out. He opened his door and walked out of the ice. It was very shallow.
And then he's responsible to get the car out of the lake after that?
Absolutely. Yep. And that's one thing to keep in mind, that if you do put your car through the ice, you have 30 days to get your car out of the ice. But if you refuse to remove your car, we'll remove it for you, and we'll charge you between 2 and 5 times the cost of the cost to remove the vehicle.
What can that run? Any idea when someone has to get it removed?
Typically, if it's out in deep water, it's going to cost between $3,000 and $6,000, depending on how far out it is and the depth of the water. This one that was close to shore wasn't very expensive, so it can run, and usually insurance does not cover that.
Just to clarify, you said this is the first car through the ice this year. Is that since beginning of 2016 or this whole winter season?
This whole winter season. Yep.
Did anyone die last winter season from falling through?
Last year, no one died out in Lake Minnetonka or in Hennepin County.
So the last deadly one, do you remember what year the last deadly incident?
3 years ago. It was 3 years ago was the last deadly one.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
Thank you.
All right, thanks.